All right, this one's been a long time coming, so we finally have an update to Video Tagger, and in this unique piece of software, we've actually combined the engine of Video Tagger and the engine of Photo Tagger into one piece of software called MetaVision, which is what you have in front of you today. And essentially what it's designed to do is generate metadata using AI, the Google Gemini API to be more specific, and basically it'll analyze your videos, images, and we're talking about thousands upon thousands of videos that you have stored inside of your library, okay, your digital asset management system, whatever it is, whatever scale or size that it is. MetaVision is designed to tackle that. No matter how disorganized your folders might be, this will centralize all your metadata into one intelligently organized digital asset management system. And you can also separate things into different batches. So anyways, we're gonna get into that right now. This is basically the UI, okay? So we're gonna go through the UI to see where everything is, what everything does, what are the significant upgrades that we've done to this version or iteration of the Video Tagger / Photo Tagger engine. And we're actually going to do a test, okay, a real-time test. I'm not going to do thousands of clips, right? Because, you know, we don't want to like stay here for like well, it might not actually take as long as you think, but let's say a dozen videos is probably going to take about a minute to process. So let's see how that works out first, and then you can run your own tests. And the first test, obviously, we're going to do is to just try it on one file that way, which is something you should do, considering that we're going to get into actually the settings window in just a little bit, but a little update for the Google Gemini API. So basically, before you had a free quota, you know, which was reset hourly that you could use, but for those of you using Video Tagger right now and Photo Tagger, you might have noticed that it, you know, either stopped working or that it's not working as it should anymore. And that's because you have to create a billing account. And the good news is that you get a free trial, so definitely get in on that. But after that, you're gonna have to pay. There's no more free quota. And to be honest, the free trial gives you plenty of credits, but even when you are gonna be paying, this is an interesting thing that we've added to MetaVision, is that there's an API usage tracker estimator. And I'll show it to you right now, actually, instead of just talking about it. So actually you see what I've been doing, and you see how many tokens I've spent, how many images, right? Which is like the language that we want to speak, because whether it's video or photo, it's one image per file that gets sent. This is how much it's costing me so far. So it still hasn't cost me 1 cent. So, you know, like it's actually like much more affordable than you think. But of course, if you're going to be running hundreds of thousands of files, which you definitely can do if you've got, you know, the patience for it, yeah, it's gonna cost you, right? Maybe a little bit more than a couple of pennies. So keeping that in mind. So obviously, so the first thing you're gonna want to get is your API key. I talked about that in the Video Tagger product demo, but basically to make things simple, because there's plenty of videos that teach you how to do it, you go to, you know, Google AI Studio. If you haven't already had an account, you create one, then you create an API key, and this is what you copy paste right over here. And once that's done, that's basically your, you know, your ignition key, I guess, to, you know, using MetaVision. Other than that, like for the API usage, you can actually export the logs. So if ever you want to, you know, compare that to your, you know, what's on your actual statements, you know, to see if there's any, well, if your account got hacked, or, you know, you're being charged for things that you haven't done, like it'll give you a good receipt to use, actually. So there's that, okay? But the most important update that we've made to this, well, it's not the most important, but it's one of the important ones because it was requested. Okay, a lot of you have been asking for this, which is the ability to preserve the original file name, because Video Tagger was automatically creating a new shortened file name using the AI meta description, but now you have the choice. So we're gonna keep it for shortened file name right now because that's the most useful, right? If you don't already have a file name system that was, you know, done in the past, which some of you do. So the option is there. Anyways, whenever you're done, you hit save. So you have to make sure to hit save so it saves the settings. And this is all local, by the way, guys. So you don't have to worry about anybody like unless somebody hacks your computer. Sorry. But your API key is going to be basically like it's not stored online. So just to reassure those of you who are concerned about that. Another thing we added to is a log window. So we're going to actually see how that works once we actually get into some stuff. You have your ability to put custom keywords. Like for this, we're going to put test, creator, I'm going to put my name. And then, you know, for copyright holder, you're going to put like, you know, whatever your production or publishing company. And we have a drag and drop box, which is cool. It wasn't the later versions of Video Tagger, but you know, like now I guess it's just like, you know, essential, right? This 2026. All your options over here are your main function. So to import video, you could either drag and drop or just click this. You can even drag and drop folders directly into it, which is super useful if you got a bunch of them. Process video, and this we're going to show you guys later, well, in just a little bit actually. It's an intelligent process video button, so we're going to get into that. Embed metadata to videos. So if we go, like you see the photo and the video pipeline or tabs, they're basically, you know, kind of the same logic. But in both cases, you'll have the ability to embed metadata directly into a copy of your original file with the shortened file name if you want to go that route. And, you know, specifically for photos, it's really cool to be able to embed EXIF data directly into the file because, you know, some platforms require that. And then you have your export options. So your export options are basically like, it's the same ones as Video Tagger. So you have like the main NLEs, but we also added Adobe Experience Manager, which, you know, is, I guess, our way of saying that this is now like designed to feed or to create a digital asset management system, which is what DAM stands for. And that's it. We have the specific format for Adobe Experience Manager because a lot of you guys are using Adobe Suite type of workflows. So this is our way of like bridging the gap. And it's the same thing for photos. So the exports vary slightly. In actually MetaVision, you have a lot more options than in Photo Tagger, you know, which didn't have, like I said, as much options. But in this case, we can write XMP sidecars, and we have a bunch of different CSV options, as well as the Adobe Experience Manager export and the IPTC standard for like stock libraries and stuff. But that stuff can also be embedded directly into the file, like we said. Now, if we move on to the library over here, okay, we have one for video and one for photo. What's slightly different is that there's persistent data. So basically, even when you close MetaVision, like it will keep your previous session alive until you manually clear the library. Okay, so that's a pretty cool thing. And another pretty cool thing is that you can actually access the CSV file or the master CSV file by clicking Open Library, and that's gonna basically open. Actually, like I'm going to demo this in just a minute. So basically, it's going to allow you to open the CSV file, and you can actually save a copy if you want to save a copy of a session, essentially. So instead of cluttering the UI over here, we actually open it using your OS's default CSV viewer, which is in this case going to be Apple Sheets. So anyways, let's actually try this out. And I'm going to just go, because, you know, obviously, like I've already done my tests. Like I said, try one video and one photo before committing to a large batch, just so you see how it works and you make sure your API key is set up properly and all of that. But I'm going to go ahead and actually just, you know, add maybe some drone shots that I took on a recent trip. So I'm going to drag and drop the whole folder from Hollywood, Florida. So these are drone shots. So now it's importing everything. So you see how they name things DJI. It's like, you know, not very descriptive. And even if you had two files with the same name from two different folders, it won't overwrite them. So you could have two DJI like 0012. And anyways, once it's done doing its work, they'll all have unique file names. So very useful. So what I was talking about, the intelligent process video button or photo button, depending on the pipeline, is that it detects how many files have not been processed. So once they're processed, it won't reprocess them again. So it doesn't waste time and it doesn't waste credits, which, you know, means money at the end of the day. And basically, if it has like a timeout or an issue, like where it doesn't process a photo or a video, it will actually detect that, and you can actually hit process again and it will do it again, because from time to time it might happen, like maybe the internet connection is slow, or sometimes the Wi-Fi drops or whatever happens. There's like basically fail safes for that. So that's another cool addition. But right now we're going to click process video, and you can see there's a progress bar, and you can actually do things in the in the UI while it's processing. So it's kind of like a parallel process that's going on there, and you can see the metadata being updated in real time, which is really satisfying, because it's like literally like a AI, like automating this tedious task for you, and it's going pretty quickly. So these are videos, 12 videos that we're processing, and you can see, I don't know, maybe one of you is keeping track, but it's probably somewhere between 30 seconds and a minute, depending on, a lot of different factors. But there you go. So once you're done, you get a confirmation message. And like if we want to save a copy of these with the unique file name, so what I would do is embed metadata to videos. I would go here to my little test folder. I could open this up. I click open, and now it's doing its thing. It might take a while depending on how many files you have. So we see there that it's working. It did the job. So now if we go check that out, we go in the desktop and we see this. So you see we have like files now with different names, and this will be also reflected. Let's say I want to do a DaVinci Resolve export, which we demonstrated in Video Tagger, the first product demo. But basically, actually got to go here and here. Okay, so we got the CSV for DaVinci. So basically you would import this into DaVinci, and it would link, because the file names are the same as the ones we just exported. And you would have all this rich metadata inside of DaVinci, and it would allow you to, like actually find things just by like searching it, which is really, really useful in those types of workflows. And you can see the test keyword is there that I added, as well as the AI generated ones. So that's for that. Maybe we can also try doing a Adobe Experience Manager export. So you see you have these fields to fill out, so it actually, works. Then we hit export, desktop, and we could check out what that looks like. So you always get a confirmation once it's done, so that's cool. So we go in here and you see this is like the format that we need for Adobe Experience Manager. We have creator and rights holder that were added, which were custom fields, which are still there. And that's pretty much all there is to it, guys. I could show you quickly a photo. So basically what I can do is I can maybe go maybe to some product photos that I've taken. So if I go here and I go to content, product images, and then I can drag like this folder. I could drag this folder. So see, we have 14 images to process. If I hit process, 14 out of 14. So as you can see, the images are being, basically the metadata is being written in real time, and it's pretty precise because it's actually seeing what the exact product of the headphones in the picture, which is something where Google Gemini really shines at. So it's the AKG K240, so it detected the headphone model. And once this is done, I guess what we'll do is I'll export the metadata to photos so you can see what that looks like. So if I do this and I go here and I go ahead and export them, so see it tells me it's finished, and I go here and I can check that out. MetaVision, photos. So you see it has the updated file name, and if I here and I go and get info, you can see it actually embeds a description, the focal length, like basically all that EXIF and AI generated metadata to the file itself. So that's really cool. And now the other thing I wanted to show you guys, because I talked about it before, is this open library button. So it's going to open it using your default CSV viewer. So in this case, because it's Mac, it's Apple Sheets. If you're on Windows, it'll probably be Excel. And this really has like all the metadata, like even the stuff that doesn't appear on specific exports. Like you see, like, you have all the AI generated description, keywords, shortened file name, but also the stuff that you can extract from the camera itself. So in my case, I use, like, this is actually accurate. I use a Canon. This is the model. It even tells you the lens, the focal length, the aperture, ISO, shutter speed. Like, it gives you everything, even GPS coordinates if you have it, and the date taken. So like that stuff, obviously for a lot of users is going to be very useful. So it's in there. And you can even create your own custom CSVs, just like copy and pasting this data, right? So like everything is just always going to be there at your disposal, and you could even save this as a, somewhere else if you want to keep it. So that's pretty much all there is to it, guys. I hope that you're as excited to start using this piece of software as I am. Like, it's going to make the process of managing metadata a walk in the park, so you can actually go focus on being creative and creating more stuff so it can be processed, organized, and used effectively in all of your workflows. So if you're just like a power user, freelancer, creative agency, a production company that could benefit from this is going to cost $99 a year, okay? So this gives you 1 year of support and, minor updates, obviously. And if you renew, basically you get major updates as well as continued support for the years to come. For enterprise level users, obviously, like not the bottleneck, but the thing that you really want to have guaranteed here is like maximum execution, even with, hundreds of thousands, if not millions of assets being processed. So if you want that kind of support, I highly encourage you to check out our enterprise level pricing. But for most people, just the $99 license is definitely going to get you by just fine. But if you have any questions, you'd like to reach out to us, perhaps you are an enterprise level client and you would like even a custom implementation of this in your own ecosystem. So basically a custom piece of software built off of the engine of MetaVision, designed and tailor-made for your business and workflows, you can reach out to us at info@decibelpeak.com. For everyone else, you can do the same if you have any questions or if you would like to leave us a comment. We also reply to our comments on YouTube, so that's also a viable option. But that's all there is to it, guys. Thank you so much for your continued support, for your feedback. Your suggestions are always appreciated. And as always, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next update.